Actually, that does feel good. It really expands the lungs. That's good stuff.
That's good stuff?
Yeah.
Clears the jizz out? Nice.
Yeah, I choked on it earlier, so it got in my lungs.
That's always rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it gets hard.
Oh, God. I know. It kind of coagulates.
Yeah.
It's a big word.
Welcome to the charity strike. And now, the guys who put the S, T, and D into stud muffin. Trigger Mike and Rebound.
Oh, yeah. You goddamn right we do.
Disease in the place.
Yeah, well, let's put the STD into your butthole. Welcome in the charity strike, everybody! It's very Jericho of me.
Everybody!
On the Twitter! It's charity strike. Fucking hate that. I am Greg the Rebound Jones, the one over here not pronouncing his own name. Good job. Sitting over here, pew-pewing all over my fucking studio here. That's Trigger Mike.
I'm back. Get John out of here.
San Diego Johnny not here this week.
The shit talking.
A lot of shit talking going on from Johnny to you.
He doesn't do it on the Fantasy League, does he?
No.
He'll do it on the show when I'm not around.
I have discovered that our fellow Fantasy League associates, if you will,
yes,
are bad shit talkers.
They are.
I think I won the shit talking for the week.
Well, I don't blame Phil. He can't talk shit with that roster. I'm sorry. Poor guy. The auto draft was not kind to him.
No,
not
it really wasn't. And, we'll have Phil in a little bit here joining us to talk a little football action. Got tons of football news. If you haven't heard by now, Ray Rice is available.
He is.
Not for the ladies.
Oh, okay.
No, for the team.
Yeah, his wife is still with him.
Right. She's a classy, smart individual.
Right. Phil might as well sign him. His team's dead. I think he'll eulogize his team week 1 in.
Yeah, give him 2 weeks.
Okay.
Give him 2 weeks. We'll ask him if you'd like to.
Yeah.
I'll get the Undertaker music ready or something.
All right.
And,
Should I offer, see if he'll do it on air, Reggie Bush for Aaron Rodgers?
Your Reggie Bush for his Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah. I think I should try it. All
right. He'd gladly give you Colin Kaepernick.
I would take Kaepernick if he was the next, if I saw more out of him and he's the next level. But,
wow, send about your own.
Yet. Well, He's a
QB.
I love him in the playoffs and as my quarterback.
And he's not
fantasy wise. It's going to be up and down.
He's not as good of a fantasy quarterback as he is a league quarterback.
Yeah, unless he was just running the ball the whole time, then it'd be fine.
Oh my God, I'd put him in there as running back.
Yep. Or if he's just throwing bombs like he did to Vernon Davis in that first quarter.
Not Terrell.
Yeah, not Terrell Davis. That guy's retired.
Yes. Yeah, dude, just catching everything he was putting out there. That was great. But it's not football time. We will get into that. For now, it's basketball time.
You love basketball. You love basketball. To say yeah. Yeah. I love basketball. You love basketball.
Oh, so much basketball news to talk about. No sarcasm in my voice.
No.
So the Hawks owner, Bruce Levinson, is having to sell his part of the team for what I like to call pulling a Sterling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He called himself out on it, though.
Yeah, now let me ask you this. Have you read the actual emails?
No.
I did not find the actual emails. I'm sure they exist. I'm sure I could have looked for another 30 seconds and found them, but I didn't. But I read the kind of the gist of what he was sending. He was sending these emails talking about, white fans and black fans and the mix that they have at the Atlanta Hawk games and all that stuff. And he said that the Southern whites don't want to come to games with all the blacks.
With all the black fans.
And that kind of stuff. And, I was talking to somebody else tonight about this situation. I was saying a few things. First of all, if you would have worded it just slightly differently, it would have been okay. I mean, if you're in New York and you're at a marketing firm, you talk about this shit all the time.
I was going to say, if you're in Madison Avenue, this is what you say.
Right. I mean, take McDonald's, for instance, huge corporation. You can tell when their commercials are geared towards whites, towards blacks, towards Mexicans, whoever. I mean, they'll have commercials where it's just all black people in the commercial.
Yep.
And who's that geared toward? Black people, clearly. And they have ones
to look like fairness. And
yeah, they'll have Mexican ones. They have commercials for every race and age demographic and gender that they're going for, and they sell different products in the commercials accordingly. And so had this been a more professional marketing discussion, he could have gotten away with it.
Yeah. Not only that, what I heard is that Danny Ferry read off an email without editing out a racist part as well, and that kind of what started the downhold slide.
Yeah, because you could say, Atlanta, let's say it's 50-50 whites and blacks. I don't know. It's probably close to that.
Yeah, it is. It's probably close.
So let's say it's 50-50, and right now they're getting like 70% of their fans at the games are black.
Right.
You don't approach it as the whites don't want to come hang out with the blacks. Well, you got to approach it as, hey, there's a whole other half of the market that we are not getting to come to our games. How do we also get that market to come so we fill up our arena?
Yeah, or...
And that market happens to be white.
Say, how do we make more money off the people that are coming already?
Right.
And get them to be bigger fans.
How do we get more money on them? How do we attract the other half that's not coming for some reason?
And the answer is, first off, get some real players in there.
It's a good start.
I mean, how long has it been? Dominique Wilkins hasn't been there for a long time, guys.
He hasn't? I haven't paid any attention since he played.
Yeah. Sorry.
He could have played yesterday for all
Sorry,
I know.
I didn't know that you were that old.
I haven't paid any attention to the Hawks. Well, they had Josh, what's his name? Didn't they?
Josh Smith.
Yeah.
And then they traded him.
Right. They got rid of him. So, yeah. It's unfortunate that it got worded this way. And the other point I made to this person I was talking about before we went on the air is the truly racist. I mean, this is, what he said was racist and wrong. And in the days of what happened with Sterling, you have to sell a team, otherwise they're going to force you out, because if they did it to Sterling, they're going to have to do it to you too.
Yeah, and you don't want the backlash that Sterling got.
Right, but just imagine, and try not to color me racist yet. See what I did there? Color me racist. Imagine if the owner was black, and he had said, "Oh my God, there are too many honkies out here. How do we attract more black people? I'm tired of this arena being so white." They've been like, "All right, well, let's see what we can do." There would have been nothing, no controversy. That's somehow not racist.
Nobody would have brought it up. I mean, if the people got word of it, there'd be an outrage.
There wouldn't be.
The people
though.
in general, I think,
Al Sharpton would come down,
would make something
defend
of it.
him, and it would be okay.
He's like, "Come on, man! You guys have had years of doing this shit. Can't we have some time?"
Right. I wish it was a little more equal there. I know you're going to call me racist, and especially after last week's wildly racist show.
Separate but equal, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
But, man, San Diego Johnny was wildly racist last week.
He was. He, said one, and he's like, might as well keep going.
Floodgates have been opened. I've never seen or heard him like that before. That was,
Johnny, if you're going to be racist, be classy about it like we are.
Seriously.
Make it an obvious joke.
Oh, well, he's not a racist.
He's not.
Heard it out of his mouth.
Now, one big question is...
Yes.
Did he do this on purpose to get out of being the owner of the Atlanta Hawks? I know I would.
Can't blame him if he did.
He outed himself.
Cannot fucking blame him.
He
did. That was the
himself.
thing. He's like, "Hey, guys, I fucked up on some team."
I really don't know how far this would have went, because Atlanta, nobody cares about them.
Right.
So how far would that have gone?
Well,
Penny Ferry I think, is about to get fired anyways.
Yeah.
And this little thing helped him because he didn't he kind of was part of it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think anybody would have found out why he was fired, other than they don't like the direction the team's going.
Right. Now let's say you're right. And honestly, I think that's a very plausible situation. If that's the case, how long until the Chargers owner starts writing racist letters to people?
He's like, I
just want the fuck out of here. I hate black people and Mexicans and everyone around me.
If I can't move, I want out.
Right.
I'm done.
I give it 3 days. Wait till after the game's over tonight. We're recording. It's Monday night, people.
It's a trend. White owners are being racist and calling themselves out on it.
And then selling their teams quickly for cheap.
And teams nobody gives a shit about.
Right. So, all right, we'll move on to more basketball. But I don't know.
It's weird.
It's very weird.
I don't know what to think about it because he called himself out on it.
The outing yourself is weird, and it's 2 years ago.
The way I look at it is he's just trying to generate revenue. I don't necessarily think he's racist, other than he notices his race and uses it as a way to make money.
His choice of wording was
stupid.
Racist and stupid. Is he racist or not based on these emails? I don't know. I don't think we can say definitively.
Yeah, that word.
I don't think we can put a stamp on there for sure. But he's definitely not a good decision maker, and needs to check who he's emailing before he.
Yeah, why would you do it on email?
Right.
Why not in a private conversation like Donald Sterling?
And quite honestly, his biggest mistake was at the bottom of the email. He wrote #KKK meeting tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like,
what do you expect?
Come on, man. Text that.
Yeah, exactly.
Text that. So the Bulls, moving up north a little bit, have reached out to Ray Allen, his reps, I should say, and they're interested in pulling in Ray Allen. Bulls going deep this year on their roster. They're
Bulls deep.
Yeah, Bulls deep. Good name for the show.
Bulls deep.
Good name for the show.
Yeah.
I think the Bulls have realized we're going to once again be without Derrick Rose come week 2.
We need someone.
We need to be
shoot.
deep. Yeah, we need someone else on this team that can do some offense.
Yeah, it's true. Because for as good as Joakim Noah is, he's not a pure scorer. So
I mean, he did
18 points a game is about where he's going to top out at.
Yeah, he did his best to carry the team, and
he's fantastic. One of the top 10 players in the league, I think.
Yeah, he almost died trying. He did a great job. But I think it's pretty obvious. If it's not this year, it'll be next year.
Yeah.
They're losing Derrick Rose.
Well, Ray Allen will go to the Bulls if LeBron's like, okay, I don't need you here.
Right.
So
it who knows where he goes. He could help both teams, is what I will say. Adam Silver is open to sports betting and betting on the NBA.
Damn.
Very opposite of one David Stern. Sterling's probably
it's
4.
close. They're both
white assholes.
Yeah. Jews.
How dare you? Oy vey. Yeah. David Stern was a part of the lawsuit to block New Jersey from allowing sports betting a couple of years ago, and they're still pushing for it. And they're talking about how disgusting Chris Christie was for trying to allow blah, blah, blah.
Generate revenue for the state.
I mean, Adam Silver's like, look, it happens illegally. Why not? Why not everybody profit?
Why
off
not
of this?
take it out of the mafia's hands?
Right. Let everyone profit from this legally. And he goes, and it generates interest in our sport, which is totally true.
Yep.
If you're doing fantasy or you're betting on teams, you're way more interested in how it's going.
I know. With my girlfriend sick yesterday, I was able to watch football all day only because I wanted to see how my fantasy players were doing.
Man, you got to make her sick every week.
I know. Like, sorry, honey, what's wrong?
Saturday night's like, I'll cook dinner. Like, here, have this chicken. I totally cooked it long enough.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Why aren't you fine?
Weird.
Same chicken.
You just have a weird stomach or something.
Yeah, you suck.
That sucks to be you. I totally agree. What's wrong with sports betting?
I mean, it does prey on the fact that people have an addiction to betting. But
that's their own. They're going to bet either way.
Yeah, you can go to Vegas and do it.
You can go to Vegas.
You can go online and do it.
My best friend lives in Vegas. I sent her money. I sent her $200 last season, beginning of the season. I said every week I want you to put I think it was like $25, $50 down on whatever I tell you, and I'd give her some parlays every week to go put down for me.
Yeah,
and I ended up winning a couple $100 out of it.
Yeah,
a couple $100 on top. Gave her some of it for being my broker, and whatever. And it was quote unquote legal because it was in Vegas.
Yeah,
but if they had that say out here in California could have profited from that.
Exactly, and we need it. We need to buy water from people.
I'll say that and rain. We can
some
betting and some rain and some legalized marijuana.
Well, it's kind of hard to believe that the trails are real. The whole acid trails, the chemtrails.
Chemtrails?
Because if it were true, why wouldn't we be setting those planes out right now?
Yeah, you asshole. It'd be pouring rain if they're real. Anyways, back to betting. I'm all for it. I think Adam Silver is going to be better than David Stern.
Already is. Got rid of Stern.
He's Sterling.
Sterling.
They're both white assholes. All right. It's an easy. I'll let you go on that one. I think it's gonna be a good thing. What else is going on? UConn women's basketball coach Gino Aruma called Monet Davis, who's that 13-year-old pitcher on the Little League World Series, or didn't quite get to the finals of the World Series, got to the semifinals. To congratulate her, and now the NCAA is saying that she violated a rule by content. It's like we're not looking.
13.
She's 13. Like we're not looking to poach her. We just want to say congratulations. And
I'm sure he does. I'm sure that's why would
Monet,
he take time out of his day?
Monet is also a great basketball player.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing, Coach G, for those of you who are tight with him like I am, he actually talked to school officials to say, would this be okay? Am I breaking the rules? Can I call her up and say, good job, whatever? And they looked into it, like, yeah, that should be cool, no problem.
So why is he getting penalized?
Well, apparently it wasn't cool. The school officials are wrong. So
he's got to fight it then.
I think
they told him it's okay.
I mean, the school says they're accepting it, but they said they disagree, but they're accepting it. I don't think they should. I think they should fight this. The more schools that push back against the NCAA, the less this bullshit will continue. The NCAA is such bullshit.
Well, we see how scared they are with the players making money now. Even the small amount we're fighting.
Yeah. They're very worried. So I think the schools and the players and everyone needs to push back against the NCAA.
Yeah, push back like you're pushing in some shit.
Yeah. Go constipate
gross.
yourself.
Yeah.
FIBA is accusing Australia today, Monday, of throwing a game in order to avoid having to play the Americans until the semifinals.
They're like, we at least want to get somewhere in these games here.
Right.
That's crazy. Well, I don't blame them, though.
We are the best.
Like,
at
aren't you
basketball.
allowed to do whatever you want out there? I think.
I mean, technically, yes. I doubt there's any punishments, set up for that sort of thing.
Right.
But maybe there will be now. I don't know.
So, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Let them do it.
Whatever. We're going to beat them either way.
Yeah,
Whether we
it's
face
good-
them now or face them in the semifinals.
It's a good matchup either way because Australia is one of the better international teams. So,
Which team was it that did the little Usos dance before?
I don't know. I
Did you
didn't
see that
see
last
it.
week?
Mm-mm.
You know the Usos, how they have their fight call or whatever before they come out to the ring?
Yep.
One of the FIBA teams did like a whole team do it. It looked just like the Usos had choreographed it. It's supposed to be some like fight song. It was actually pretty cool looking. I want to see it was Australia. Somewhere down, Australia, New Zealand, New Guinea, somewhere around there.
The southern hemisphere somewhere.
Somewhere down there where it's sunny and beachy.
Mm.
Yeah. Coach Bob Knight, not hurt in a cow accident.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, congratulations.
What'd the cow do? Did he not hustle back on defense or
Yeah.
something? Like what?
Threw
What?
something.
Why the cow?
Threw something at his face.
Yeah. Where's the chair? He's like, I don't have a chair. I'm going to hit you with my car.
But that's what happened. He says it was a dark road and he hit the cow and he's unhurt. I want some more investigation into this. I am assuming he was hammered.
Yeah.
Come on.
He would have choked the cow, but the cow's neck's way too big. He can't get his hands around it.
I'm going to choke your udders.
The cow's like, get off of me.
Get off me, bro.
Come at me.
Don't choke me, bro. So, yeah. Good job, Bob Knight. You're not dead yet for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyways, you know what else isn't dead? Amazon. Thriving.
It is thriving because of who?
The charity strike.
And our fans.
That's right. Our listeners, you guys are telling friends who are telling friends. And if you're not, get on that shit. You guys help us out. Help us keep this free for everyone. This work of audio art, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
By going to thecharitystrike.com, clicking on the Amazon banner at the bottom of the homepage, or too much work, fine. Amazon.thecharitystrike.com. Just bookmark that shit. And every time you go to Amazon, it kicks a couple of pennies our way. Doesn't throw anything extra to your bill. You still get the same savings, whether you have Prime or not, or all that good shit. We just get a couple of pennies from your purchase and helps keep shit going over here.
Yeah, that's true. No, new catchphrase for the show, aesthetically audio.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's us.
Look at you.
That's right.
It's like I should pay you or something.
I know, you should.
But I'm not
With that
going to.
Amazon money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here is
Big money.
Here's your 8 cents
All right.
off of one of our listeners' purchase.
Now I can claim this stuff.
Clean what?
Claim it.
Oh, claim
My
it.
taxes.
Yeah.
W-2.
That's
Maybe
gotta-
one day.
that's
Maybe
gotta throw
maybe I'll get 200,000 pennies one day.
I'll say that'll throw you into a new tax bracket.
Yeah.
Be careful over there. All right, let's continue on with our ball talk.
Now, there's lots of teams throughout this land, but I'm proud to be a Cubby fan. Believe me, 84 was just the start. We're going to bring a pennant to this part. Hey, I'm a Cub fan.
He's a Cub fan.
And I'm a Bud man.
He's a Bud man. Ooh, Harry.
Holy cow. We'll win the series before we're through.
One thing I meant to mention at the top of the show was, besides that, you guys, if you're listening live, call us. 805-419-3679. It's the number to call. And if we're not live, you can call anyways, leave a voicemail. We'll play it on the air or talk about it or whatever. So, talk about sports with us.
Yeah.
Might start up a whole new topic.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new world.
We'll talk about anything.
Yeah, we're desperate. We're not too afraid to beg. Baseball time. Justin Verlander addresses the nude photos. He was part of that scandal where, like, Jennifer Lawrence and everyone else.
Kate Upton.
Kate Upton, the underage gymnast chick.
Yeah.
He was nude in some pictures with Kate Upton. You know what's funny is I don't want to publicly say that I found these pictures, but I will say that I did not see him in them.
You didn't?
No.
You didn't see the ones he was in? They were actually kind of funny.
Were they?
Yeah, there's two in particular. There's one with him and Kate Upton, like, spooning in front of a mirror and taking a picture with their asses out.
Okay.
But it looks funny.
Okay.
And then the second one was him holding a hand over his crotch with the fuck you middle finger going.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I did not see those
Pretty
ones.
clever stuff.
I thought I saw all of them, too. Apparently not.
She had a lot of her friends in her catalog, I noticed.
Kate Upton?
Yeah.
Can I say that, like, I saw the Jennifer Lawrence ones. Those were fine.
I liked them.
I mean, they were nice. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence is a beautiful girl. And great body.
Oh, yeah.
But my favorite by far, Kate Upton.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
we've been waiting.
Oh, my God. Like, you thought she was good in the bathing suit. I didn't. Like, I thought, okay, very little left to the imagination in these bathing suits. Like, how much better could it get?
Yeah.
It got a lot better.
You saw it.
I was like, holy shit.
You know what sucks for all these ladies? The worst part of this is their moneymaker, getting nude and getting paid a lot to do it. It's not out there anymore. People have seen it.
People have seen it, but all the websites have done a very good job of containing it.
That's true.
Unless you've downloaded it. I should have. I did not.
It's in the spank bank, though, right?
Oh, you better believe
That's
it, buddy.
right.
Yeah, that's right. Justin Verlander's dick is definitely in the spank. I mean, Kate Upton. But with that, I will publicly say I did not find those pictures online. I would not search for them.
No, never.
That's horrible. Anyways, Verlander said no comment.
That's it?
That's how he dressed. He goes, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about baseball.
How is it embarrassing to him? He's like,
It's
yeah,
not.
that's who I'm with.
Yeah, look at me. I'm fucking Kate Upton.
Look, we have fun naked.
Right. You know Kate Upton?
for us.
The hot bitch with the huge tits?
That you've wanted to see naked?
Right.
All the time.
I fuck her.
all the time.
Daily. I jizz on her face.
That's what I want.
Oh my God, I fuck her asshole.
Put my balls in her.
Right.
That's how deep I get.
Put the balls inside.
Yeah.
Wow. She's wide.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or she's inviting.
Yeah. You know what Verlander should do?
It's a nicer way to say it.
Yeah. He should do like a Twitter Q&A type thing or a Reddit Q&A, one of those Q&As. But instead of Q&As, it should be like requests, like, how do you want me to fuck Kate Upton tonight?
It's true.
You know, like, oh, do her doggy, or like, fuck her in the ass, you know?
If she'll let me.
Yeah, let her give you a Cleveland steamer. Oh, that's weird. Who would like
Charity stroke on her.
Yeah. We need to come up with a move for the charity stroke. What is that? Charity stroke. We'll have to think about that.
We'll have to
one.
ponder this.
Because I'm thinking of like stroking, like jerking off.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking her and she's reaching around. Like fucking her doggy, she reaches around, strokes your dick while
charity.
you're fucking her.
This is my charity.
Like, there's a little extra. It's a little charity stroke.
Or a charity stroke could be a hot chick stroking off an ugly guy.
Oh, that's
a charity
charity.
stroke right
yes, and that would go really well with you and I.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not ugly, but
no. We're gorgeous.
We're some chubby dudes, especially me.
Our cocks are chubby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Much in the pants.
Yes, exactly. Anyways, Verlander, you need to fucking own up to this shit. You are the man, and we all envy you now. What else? Last place Rangers did a smart thing. They pulled Yu Darvish 3 weeks before the season ends, because why the fuck not? They're in last place.
They're in a horrible place.
Why would you injure your ace pitcher now? That'd be
you gotta pull him.
fucking stupid.
Yeah, they did the reverse of the Nationals. They did a smart move, taking him out when they had no chance, unlike the Nationals, took him out when they had a chance to win the World Series.
Thus giving themselves no chance.
Yeah, and where are they now? Where are they now?
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. And manager Ron Washington quits for quote-unquote personal reasons.
He hates managing the Texans when they suck.
Who
That's
wouldn't?
the personal reason.
Now, you know we had that cocaine problem a couple of years ago. And
That's not a problem.
yeah, I mean,
That's a good problem to have, isn't it?
define problem.
Right. Yeah, he's just got a gray mustache, guys.
Right, yeah.
He's old.
Right, exactly. That's not croak. The team said the only thing they were authorized to say is that it's a personal issue and it's not drugs. Which to me means it was totally drugs.
Did he send out a racist letter?
Yeah.
That's what it's got to be, right?
Yeah, it was weird. He said he hates black people.
They're like, we can't have that.
You're right.
Can't have black on black hate. That's worse than white on black
That's
hate.
like that Chappelle skit where he was the
N-word.
black white supremacist.
Yeah.
That was so funny. I mean, racist.
Yeah, so racist. Mm-hmm. He divorced his wife because she was an N lover.
Right, because he was black. Mm-hmm. YouTube it, people. It's a comedy masterpiece. Josh Beckett says he's mulling over some retirement at the end of the season.
Might as well.
I was say, might as well.
He's hurt more than he plays.
What has he done for us lately?
Yep.
Nothing. He ran up our fucking
Get
doctor
out.
bills. Yes. I don't blame him for wanting to get out. I wish he was the Josh Beckett of old for the Dodgers.
Yeah. It'd be nice.
It would be very nice.
When he won the World Series with the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, remember the good old days when
Yeah.
Josh Beckett didn't suck?
And when he won a World Series with the Marlins when he was really young.
Wow, that's digging.
Yeah.
How old is he these days? He's like 30.
I think he's mid-30s. Yeah.
I think. Something like that. Yeah, I can't remember. Real quickly, since we're getting towards the end, we got to run down some baseball standings.
All right.
Yeah. AL East, Baltimore's on top.
Yes.
10 games behind is the Yankees.
Oh, anything. I love it. Anything but the Yankees or Boston. I love it.
Yeah, so I won't even get into the rest because they're 10 games behind with 3 weeks left.
Baltimore's got it, hopefully.
I don't know how they
I don't
could.
want to jinx them.
I think if they lost every single game, they'd still have it.
They might still have it.
Yeah. AL Central, Kansas City on top by only 1 game. Detroit sneaking up on them, and Cleveland's only 5 games back. So it's still a race in the Central.
Detroit's doing well with Verlander actually not pitching that great right now, too.
Yeah, surprising. Angels still on top of AL West.
Good.
Yeah, Oakland just slipping further and further behind. They're 7.5 games behind the
That's
Angels.
Billy Bean Ball right there. Do well at the beginning of the season, then just fade away.
And then Paula Payton.
Fade away.
Yeah, right at the end of the season there. NL, the Washingtons. The Washingtons?
The Washingtons.
Wow. What the fuck happened? Washington is on top of NL East. They are 8 games ahead of Atlanta.
Oh, shit. I was just talking shit about them, too.
Oh, well, they're 8
on
games
top.
ahead of Atlanta, so we don't go through the rest. NL Central, St. Louis on top, 4.5 games ahead of Pittsburgh.
Always, man. Always St. Louis.
Right? 4.5 games ahead of Pittsburgh, and Milwaukee only 5.5 back, so there's a little bit of a race there. And NL West, bitches, Dodgers on top.
That's right.
Still.
Why
I
not?
think they're on like a 3-game win streak right
Yeah,
now.
they're hot.
Yeah. Followed by the Giants.
Yeah.
3 games back. We don't need to get to the rest because the Padres are 14.5 games back. It just gets worse from there.
Yeah, it's bad. When
It's
the Padres are in third place, that's bad.
I know. That's a bad division.
That's a bad division.
That's a bad division. All right. Let's we got time. Let's not give a fuck about shit.
All right.
So Under Armour, maybe we should give a fuck about this, has inked Gisele Bündchen. Gisele, nice. I guess if you can't get Kevin Durant, you get Gisele Bündchen.
We got husband and wife. Maybe they'll take the Kate Upton, Justin Verlander pictures for us.
Not as good, but I'd still see it.
I'd still look at
Tom
that.
Brady's a hell of a good-looking guy.
He's a better looking dude than Verlander.
Yeah.
So
I don't care about Bündchen.
no.
She's not she's a twig.
Show me that Brady ass.
Yeah. I want to see him like playing with his hair.
But only if he has
jerking
long
off.
hair.
Yeah, grow the hair back. You queer. Michaela Maroney. We were talking about her with the leaked photo. She was the gymnast. She says at first she said they weren't her, and now she's suing because those pictures were of her underage.
Well, then shouldn't she be suing herself since she was hosting the child pornography?
That's true.
Yeah.
So she should be in trouble for hosting that.
Yeah.
Why is she taking pictures of herself underage?
Yeah.
And who's she sending them to?
Yeah, you're going to jail, Michaela.
That's right, you bitch. Lolo Jones is going to compete on Dancing with the Stars. This is only worth talking about because I'm hoping she wears a very short dress.
Too.
She's easy on the eyes.
She is. Randy Couture will be on there, too. Former UFC heavyweight and light heavyweight champion.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll choke her out with his dick.
He's going to forget he's dancing and take someone down and ground and pound him.
Ground and pound with his cock. Martina, former tennis player, proposed to her girlfriend Julia Limigova.
She's hot.
I was saying Martina got the good end of this deal.
Yeah.
She not so good looking.
She's the Ellen to the Porsche, right?
She
there.
really is. Julia, on the other hand, she's 46.
Does not
Still
look it.
fucking hot.
Banging!
Yeah, totally doable. I'd like to see her on one of my MILF porns that I
Diamond Dallas
subscribe
Page
to.
would call her banging.
Would he?
Yeah.
Would he give her a self high five?
So no, he'd be like, "Take my cock in your mouth."
Wow, he's very straightforward.
Yeah.
Doesn't fuck around that Diamond
No,
Dallas
he
Page.
doesn't. He does not.
Wow, that's good to know. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, Julia Limigova. She was like a model. She's got some all right pics up on the
I can
internet.
tell she was a model.
Yeah, she's not
She should
bad.
still be a model.
Yeah, you know who's not a model?
Who?
Haiku Hank. He left another goddamn voice.
Oh God.
What's up, bitches?
You've reached the Charity Strike's private sex line.
So leave your name, number, and breast size. We'll be sure to jerk off to you as quickly as possible.
Later, bitches.
Oh, Daddy, Haiku Hank here with this episode 205 recap haiku. Here it goes. Ice cream sandwiches are thrown by scouting bitches. Mike Sam was a ram. Oh, Daddy-O's! Now all he does is get rammed by skiers and cowboys! Oh! Have a great episode 206! I'll talk to you next week. Bye!
Not an abundance of shit talk towards me this time.
No.
He must be getting over it.
I think he is.
He better be. It's not my fault he got dumped.
No,
Oh, did I just bring up something sore?
Uh-oh. Dallas Cowboys could have used Michael Sam yesterday.
Speaking of sore.
Could have.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
That's a gay joke, my friend. Yeah. Yeah, they could have used a little defensive help. I mean, he couldn't have made the team any worse, that's
No,
for sure.
not at all.
Not at all. But I'm glad they didn't have him because it's a good outcome for me. But first, before we talk more football, let's get into the trick of the day.
Hello, ladies. Today's trick of the day is Ryan Shamrock.
Oh, a little outdated. I was having a conversation about Ryan Shamrock. Not that one.
Must have been with someone.
I think it was with San Diego
It
Giants.
had to be.
Anyway, today's chick of the day. Her name is Marta, M-A-R-T-A, Menegatti. That is not a sexually transmitted disease. It's M-E-N.
It's not an Italian dish, unless you're talking about her ass.
Oh, I'd eat that shit
I'd
any
serve
day.
that.
I mean, M-E-N-E-G-A-T-T-I. She is a volleyball player, so you know what that means. Beach volleyball.
Oh.
Yeah, little tiny bikini thing that rides up her ass whenever she spikes the ball.
Oh.
Easy on the eyes.
You're into the Italians lately, aren't you?
Who isn't? I like their cars. I like their bitches. I like their food. I like I'm sure they got other stuff I like too.
You like the way they handle business?
No, their economy's fucked.
No, I'm talking about
Oh, that's the
in
Greek.
America.
Oh, yeah. They just kill people.
Yeah, they do what they want.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I do what I want. That's right. They Cartman that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check her out. Marta Menegatti.
Marta. Hermano.
I'm gonna stick my cock in her Menegatti.
Yes,
Yeah. Look her up, people. She's fucking hot. Of course, we'll have a picture of her at facebook.com/CharityStrike after the show is over. With that, we're not over, but we're going to break.
Whew.
We need to refill on our beer situation.
Yep.
Yes.
I need to open mine,
but
I need to wait because my keys are loud.
Are your keys loud?
Yeah.
I'm over here hitting the wrong fucking buttons.
That's what you do.
That was very John Lennon. It's what you do.
It's what you do.
It's what you do. Anyways, we are going to go to break. I'm going to get some more beer. I'm going to hit the right button. We're going to come back. We're going to have Phil from gruntpunch.com. He's going to talk some football with us. We're going to run down some MMA shit. We'll probably jerk each other off some more. We've been doing that the entire time, which is pretty good because we're a good 8 feet away from each other.
Yeah.
Which is longer, our cocks or our arms?
Our cocks, totes. We're T-Rexes over here.
Yeah, we are. Ha ha! Rawr!
Wow.
I don't know. That's fucking gay. I've been drinking and stuff. So in the meantime, thecharitystrike.com, facebook.com/charitystrike, at the Charity Strike, no E. And you already know, 805-419-3679. It's the number to call. We'll be back with more shit, people.
Grab your friends, we'll go to very distant lands with Jake the Lion and the human. The fun will never end. Adventure.
If that's not enough to get you guys to listen to the show, I don't know what is. Facebook.com/AwkwardApocalypse, at AwkwardPod on Twitter. Do not forget to email us, awkwardpod@gmail.com. You can always call us, 323-379-9225. There you have it. You just got our promo.
I need more booze.
Ready for more eargasms? It's time for more Charity Strike.
Oh, that is right. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Everybody in the show getting tipsy.
Everybody in the show getting tipsy.
Everybody in the show getting tipsy.
They don't repeat it twice.
Oh,
God.
sorry.
Brady Rebon Jones still sitting with me, Trig and Mike. We will be joined very shortly by the one and only Phil from gruntpunch.com and
alongtheboards.com.
Now he's on alongtheboards.com. And
of course, thecharitystrike.com. Our special.
Right. But isn't it Isn't it funny how he starts coming on this show and all of a sudden he's getting all these other gigs?
It's not coincidence. It's not his skill level. It's him being on this show.
Right. Colbert has the Colbert bump.
Yeah.
I think we definitely have the TCS bump.
Oh, for sure.
I don't even think it's up for debate.
No, not at all.
We got it.
No, we've got it.
We do.
So, I mean, Brad Williams, he's finally getting a special. Why? Because he's been on this show 3 times.
He just recorded his special on Friday.
Yeah.
He just got a job doing morning radio up north.
And why?
Because he's on the show 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, that's the TCS rub right there, people.
That's right.
You think fighting the Undertaker at WrestleMania gives you the rub? Nope. Being on TCS, bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
In my music. UFN 50, that's Ultimate Fight Night 50.
Woo!
Was this past Saturday. Really good fights. I would have paid to see this pay-per-view if it were a pay-per-view, but it was free over UFC 177.
So Midlife must have watched it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
but I don't know, you didn't talk about it, though. Usually he only watches it when we talk about it.
That's true. That's how he knows.
This was a better card than UFC 177 bullshit that they put on pay-per-view. Fight results were Ronaldo Jacare Souza, Mr. Alligator Grip, defeated Gegard Mousasi by submission, of course, with that alligator grip.
Well, duh.
He's an amazing middleweight. He's going to be probably the next in line for Chris Weidman after he fights Vitor Belfort. Should be a fantastic fight, as long as Weidman gets through Belfort. I mean, if he fights Belfort, it's a good fight as well, but Belfort's not on steroids anymore, so he's not going to do well.
Oh, may not be that good.
No. Alistair Overeem, the guy that we like to make fun of because he gets all cocky in fights and then gets knocked out, went and did it again.
Oh.
Ben Rothwell, a guy he should have easily disposed of, big, goofy white guy, knocks out Alistair Overeem at 2:19 of round number 1. The slide continues for a guy who came in so promising, beat Brock Lesnar in Brock Lesnar's last match.
Oh, you mean the 1-21 one?
Yeah, that Brock Lesnar. The WWE heavyweight champ, I mean, legitimate as fuck. Brock Lesnar. Beat that guy. Ever since then, it's been all downhill. Matt Mitrione, another heavyweight, defeated Derek Lewis. Nice little knockout at 41 seconds in the first round. He threw a punch, missed, but the guy ducked into his arm, hitting him with an elbow with the follow through from the punch.
What?
Like, you know how you follow through and then your elbow's out there? The guy ducked right into his elbow as it was coming in, and he knocked himself out. And
whoops.
Mitrione finished the fight from there. And then finally, at lightweight, Joe Lozon becomes the number 1 lightweight finisher in history, his 10th lightweight finish, as he opens up a cut on Michael Chiesa via knee at 2:14 of round 2. Sucked because it was a fantastic fight going up into that point. Chiesa was technically, he won the first round. He was getting beat at that point in the second round. Would have been a third round swing round, which is always the fun fight when you get that third round swing round. And unfortunately, the cut stops the fight. Hopefully, it'll be an automatic rematch, so I'd love to see that. But it's a legitimate win. He did bust him open with his knee to end the fight.
I love blood.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Do you bleed the hard way?
He bled the hard way.
Nice.
He did not need a razor for that one.
Nice.
Also, in the news of the fighting world, a new Tough starts this Wednesday. I'm actually going to watch it. I haven't watched it in a few years since the last one that had the women with Ronda Rousey, and it had a half women, half men. Well, the new season is all women, except for the coaches. The coaches will be Anthony Pettis, the lightweight champion of the world, against Gilbert Melendez, the number 2 lightweight in the world. That'll begin Wednesday at 7:10 Pacific Daylight Time. We aren't at Standard Time yet.
Not yet.
It'll be 115-pound women. The first time the UFC will have 115-pound women in the UFC. It's a new division.
Is that heavy or light for
115? It's lighter than Ronda. Ronda's 135.
Oh, okay.
So it's really light, actually, for muscular women.
Yeah, that is really light.
So it will be not only the tournament format, like all Toughs are, but this is the first time ever that the winner will become the new champ of the UFC. So the first ever UFC 115-pound women's champ will be crowned at the end of the whole series there. It should be fun.
Nice.
There's a hot chick in there. I
yeah.
suggest you watch
What
it.
is her name?
Her name is... I know it.
I know what you're talking about. We'll have to get that
I know
to the
her
people
name too. It sucks, but she's hot.
Yes, she is.
And she definitely
she
plays
was
it
a
up
ring. She was like a card girl, a ring girl first, right?
I think she's done modeling before. I don't think she was ever. I don't know if she was
not for UFC, for like other MMA
she
promotions.
Might have been, yeah.
And she was a model, and now she's a fighter.
Yeah, and she plays it up for the camera too.
She's definitely easy on the eyes.
She is very easy.
Chick of the week contender.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see how she does on the tough. If she's good on there, we'll put her as chick of the week.
I'll be jerking either way.
We're gonna have a little Ray Rice news coming up, but let's preface this with the MMA version of some wife beating and spouse beating. War Machine update. As you know, he beat Christy Mack a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he did.
Really put her out of commission. I mean, she needs to make that jizz money. She can't be doing it at this point.
Wow.
He was extradited to Las Vegas last week after fleeing Las Vegas for Simi Valley, my hometown.
Yeah.
Where I stay at this point. He fled there. They found him. They extradited him back to Las Vegas. He is facing 31 charges in the crime, ranging from attempted murder, sexual assault, battery, coercion, preventing or dissuading a witness or victim from reporting a crime, and first-degree kidnapping resulting in substantial bodily harm.
Jeez.
He faces life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Oh, that's the wrong cage.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like something 7 to 10 year type thing. Nope. He not only did he break parole, but he also did a lot of other things you should not be doing.
Fucking cock ass!
Unless you're Ray Rice, then you get a slap on the wrist most of the time.
Literally a slap.
Until today.
Well,
we'll talk about
we'll
that.
Get into that.
The judge stated that she will refer to Copenhagen by exactly that name. She's not taking part in the title. This is Power Fantasy, calling him War Machine. But we are not too good to call him War Machine.
By the way,
on the show.
Looked into that because, we had that discussion when Daniel was on.
It's his real name.
His legal name is War Machine.
He changed it to it.
But he did on his, when he got booked into jail, put down his former name, John Copenhagen.
He's not too stupid. He's like, I better get real here. This shit's real. I can't be going by War Machine on this shit.
Or he couldn't spell machine.
Yeah. He's like, Copenhagen's easier than machine.
Yeah, he grew up with it. Yeah.
Finally, other wife-beating news. Thiago Silva update. The charges, we talked about him in February, of him threatening to kill his wife and her boyfriend and chasing her to the gym, and he got cut by the UFC. Well, his wife has not been helping. She's been very uncooperative, and investigators have determined that she has likely left the United States.
Really?
So they have dropped the charges against him.
Is she from outside of the United States?
She's Brazilian, I believe.
Oh.
Because he's Brazilian, so I assume.
I guess that makes sense.
But they can't find her, so they
hilarious.
Can do nothing but drop the charges against Thiago Silva since she's not there to be a material witness.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and that is the fighting news.
Wow.
It's my Ultimate Warrior.
Is that what that was?
Yeah,
I thought that was your Pumbaa.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, such a wonderful phrase. Before we move on to football, there's one thing I need to tell everyone about. It's Audible.
Oh!
Yeah, that's right. You guys obviously listen to podcasts. So you like free audio shit. Well, get a free audio book download by heading over to audibletrial.com/charitystrike. Free audiobook. All you got to do is just a little sign up there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, start petitioning. Tell them to call us to read some books for them. Let our voices be the voices you hear in book as well.
Here we go. Audition.
I mean, you're the winner, and I was the runner-up of a sexiest voice contest.
Yeah, hold on. Audition right here.
Okay.
Max can run.
Oh.
Run, Max, run. See Max run. He runs so fast. Run, Max, run. That was good, right?
I liked it a lot.
How's your boner doing?
My boner is halfway there.
I thought so. Yeah. So if you want to hear that and more, audibletrial.com/thecharitystrike. Let's do a little football so we can get Phil over here on the line.
Facts. It's football nomenclature for when a quarterback is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Football time. That means we are now being joined by the one and only Phil from groundpunch.com and now from alongtheboards.com. Phil, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us. Throwing a little validity to the show, if you will.
I'm pretty excited. I'm sitting here watching the Cardinals and Chargers game, and Nick Novak just kicked a field goal.
He just got you some points.
I only need him to kick 23 more field goals, and
it could happen. Yeah. It could happen.
That's all the Chargers have. So
there's a first time for everything, guys.
It's going to happen for you tonight. It's going to.
Sure hope so.
Yes. So football news. Before we get too deep into it. We have our fantasy league going on where Phil, unfortunately, auto-drafted the worst auto-draft team I've seen in the history of fantasy sports.
It's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, he did get Jamal Charles, but still.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, there's so much luck that goes into, injuries and guys have off years, but this team is pretty bad.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, you definitely have scored the least points of the week this week.
Yeah, I think I could probably trade Aaron Rodgers and Jamal Charles, and
maybe do better.
And yeah, I might have to trade my top two guys because everybody after that is just garbage.
Well, Alex, speaking of that, I have a proposal for you.
Oh,
bring it!
I am stacked at running back. I know you probably need a second running back since Tate got hurt. I am offering Reggie Bush for Aaron Rodgers.
No.
You're like, Mike just needs a quarterback. I'm not going to give that to him.
I'm trying to play to your fandom a little bit. I was hoping I could.
I saw that.
Take Kaepernick and maybe give up a little too much for him.
I saw that, but I got burned by him last year, so I wasn't going to do it.
You didn't fall into my trap.
No, I got burned by him last year.
Let me give you a little bit of advice here. San Diego Gianni, who goes by the fantasy name Whoa Bundy, he loves trades. Just send him trades all day long. He fucking loves to trade.
It's true.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to make a proposal to him. I've been looking at everybody's roster like, all right, who's got an extra running back? All right, who has an extra receiver? Because I need one of everything.
I am stacked. I've got Chris Johnson, who did well with the Jets yesterday. Yeah. I've got Reggie Bush. I've got who's my number one guy?
I don't know.
Arian Foster. I've got No Sean Moreno on the bench, who was my best back yesterday.
Moreno's a good sleeper. Yeah, I liked him. I really like Chris Johnson going into it. And even his down years, there was the one year he had a really bad fantasy season where he was scoring in the single digits for like the first half of the season. But his end-of-year numbers, even though he's pretty consistent, are usually pretty good. And he's going to a team now. Fresh start, can do a lot of things for a guy. And I think New York is going to be a good fit for him. I think it's a good.
And they need a guy that can sniff the end zone, and Johnson's that little shuffle pass they had, that got me some points, and it was a nice little play that only Johnson could make.
Right.
It's beautiful. And speaking of which, I had the number one points this week. Thank you, Calvin Johnson. And then, Greg, you had the number 2 points this week.
That's right. And I think I win number 1 for shit talking.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I choke on my own spit. Everyone's being a pussy on their shit talking boards.
I don't blame Phil. He can't shit talk.
Well, that's true.
Actually, no, it'd be the ultimate irony if you did, Phil.
I thought about starting to trash my own team a little bit. I'm just going to wait. I think I can lie in the weeds here and maybe get 1 or 2 little key waiver pickups and sneak in. I think I can do it.
That's true. Have you picked up the Jacksonville wide receiver that did well yesterday?
No, I don't think that's going to last. I
don't either.
In the pan.
I think that was people being surprised by Henne doing something yesterday as well.
Well, yeah, he's their number 3 receiver, and also Chad Henne's throwing the ball. So,
yeah, but Blake Bortles is going to be in there at some point this season, and
I don't know why they didn't start him. As good as he looked in the preseason, he's a big kid and he's got a big arm. I don't understand why they're not.
Big dick too.
I don't either, because I think with him he could have managed the game to keep them winning that game yesterday.
Yeah, Bortles is a really smart kid, and he's like so well matured for a rookie quarterback. And you could see that in the preseason. I mean, he just looked so poised in the pocket. He looked like he was a 5-year, 6-year vet. And I really thought he won the starting job. I can't believe they gave it to Henne.
I think that was their plan from the beginning, because he obviously was the better quarterback in the preseason.
Well, it was, yeah. And you could tell they were adamant about sticking with Henne. But, man, when you got a guy that talented with that strong of an arm, and at least from what the sampling that you had, he seemed to be able to make all the reads and all the throws. I would have given them a shot. What do you got to lose, man? They're not going to win more than 4 games or 5 games this year anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts did it with Andrew Luck starting from the beginning. RG3 started from the beginning. Russell Wilson from the beginning. It's out there. The guys are successful. Let them play.
He definitely doesn't seem like a fragile mental case or whatever. I think he could handle the losing. He could learn from it. And I really like Bortles. I think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback.
I do too.
And doesn't he have a really hot girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he does.
Yeah, I like him even better already. Before we move on to real football news, you have some
quick picks.
You have some quick pick updates.
Well,
yeah.
Daniel, number 3 in our league this week in points.
Yes.
Like white on rice. Or sorry, rice on wife.
Right.
I love his name.
Isn't it wife on rice?
Rice on wife.
Rice on wife. Oh yeah, it makes more sense.
It's a good name. Anyways, he leads right now with 10 wins. If the Cardinals win, he wins straight out. Both you, Phil, and San Diego. I guess not both. You, Phil, and San Diego Johnny all have 9 wins at this point. And I'm at the bottom of the poll with Midlife. But if the Cardinals win, I move past him. I got to beat Midlife.
Midlife is going to midlife it once again.
He always does.
He always fucks up the picks.
So right now it looks like Daniel is going to win unless the Chargers win. Then San Diego Johnny will tie him.
Unless they kick a bunch of field goals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, good luck.
Onside kick, recover, field goal. That's what Phil wants right now.
I've never rooted for a kicker so hard in my life.
Hey, for like 2 seasons now, it's all been Phil Dawson for MVP over here. So I feel you.
Well, Phil Dawson's the man. We love him out here in Ohio.
Do you? Oh, he used to be out there. That's right.
He was with the Browns for like 12 years.
I forgot about that. Well, now he's kicking ass in San Francisco.
Except for that miss yesterday. That was weird.
He was the only good player on their team for a long time.
Yeah, he was.
Yep. He was the only one scoring points the first half of the season last year.
Yeah,
that's true.
He's a reliable kicker.
He is. He fucked up yesterday, but hey, first game, it's getting out of his system.
It's okay. Tony Romo gave him that game anyways. It didn't matter. They were out there practicing.
Yeah, we in here talking about practice. So I mean, the big news of the day is, of course, the whole Ray Rice situation.
Really? That's the big news.
Just kidding. Let's talk about Jim Irsay. So Ray Rice, if you have not seen the video, we twatted it out earlier. TMZ got a hold of the video from the inside of the elevator when we only saw Ray Rice dragging his wife out. You could have easily made the argument, well, she was hammered.
Maybe she fell.
Or she fell. Or she was on drugs, whatever. Not anymore, you can't.
No.
At the charity strict no E at the end, you guys can see the video. It's fucking great if you want to hate on Ray Rice. It's so good. So it just clocks her twice. Knocks her the fuck out.
That second punch was MMA level right there.
Yes.
And then a second knockout on her way down, hitting the guardrail.
Oh, my God. She got knocked out like 3 times. Yeah, he's such a fucking asshole. So, obviously, the Ravens cut him today. There's really no other option. They had to cut him. What else are you going to do?
Well, I don't see why they didn't cut him anyways, and the NFL didn't suspend him longer in the first place. He still hit his wife, regardless of how bad it came across once the footage was out.
Exactly. Phil, have you seen the video as of yet?
Yeah, I watched the video this morning, and I have a couple points on this. One, the NFL came out and said that they did not see this video when they made their suspension. And
bullshit.
That's believe what you want with that one. But they did have the video of him dragging her out of the elevator.
Yeah.
She went in conscious, she came out unconscious. Something happened in there. And the 2-game suspension was too low to begin with anyway. And with this, I think they definitely made the right move when this came out. Whether they're lying about seeing the video or not, they made the right move. But my issue with this whole thing is with the hotel. And I know they have privacy policies and everything. They didn't release this video. But if there was a police investigation, somebody had to see this video. And the people working at the hotel, you can't tell me they never watched it and they just said, no, we're not going to pull it up because it's privacy or our patrons' privacy or whatever.
Right. Well, here's the great thing about the whole hotel situation. That hotel is now closed. They're out of business.
Well, they should be.
Well,
yeah.
Not because of this, but the only reason that tape got leaked out is because someone that worked there held on to it. The hotel then closed, and then they were able to sell it to TMZ because they can't get fired at that point.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know who leaked it out, but they definitely did the right thing.
Definitely.
And for whoever was in charge of that security footage to have seen that and not turned it over to either the NFL or the police, if that's the truth, and believe what you want again. But for them not to do that, I mean, that's just such low moral character. And I don't know what hotel it was, if it was a Hilton or whatever, but I would encourage everybody to boycott whatever chain that is.
Well, and to not turn over you must be a huge Baltimore Ravens fan, but I'm thinking there's no way that the police did not see that video. Maybe the league didn't see it. I believe they did, but there's no way the police missed that video. They would have had to have seen it.
What if somebody was murdered in the elevator? They're going to say, oh, privacy, it's a freaking crime. He beat the crowd. He knocked her out. Yep. How do you not turn that in?
You have to. I'm going to play a clip. It's a bit long, so if anybody gets bored, just say so and I'll cut it off. Now, Keith Olbermann, who I normally can't stand, I think he's not funny, full of shit, and irrelevant these days, actually made a very good multitude of points about the league and Goodell and the authorities. So I'll play this. If you guys get bored, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just let it go.
We begin tonight with the unavoidable and simple truth that intentionally or by neglect, the Atlantic County, New Jersey District Attorney's Office, the Baltimore Ravens, the National Football League, and Commissioner Roger Goodell have conducted a cover-up of Ray Rice's brutal assault on his then-fiancée on February 15th. There is no other conclusion possible. Each body, each leading individual involved came to a judicial conclusion about what had happened to Janae Palmer and what should happen to Ray Rice, and each, through deception or incompetence, misled the public, damaged the efforts of every man and every woman in this country seeking to merely slow down the murderous epidemic of domestic violence, and made a mockery of the process by which those who batter those they claim to love are to be brought to justice. And not one of them, not Commissioner Goodell, not NFL Senior Vice President Adolfo Birch, not NFL Chief Counsel Jeff Pash, not Baltimore Team President Richard Cass, not Baltimore General Manager Ozzie Newsome, not Assistant Prosecutor Diane Ruberton of Atlantic County, New Jersey, not Prosecutor Jim McClain, not Superior Court Judge Michael Doino, not Ray Rice himself. No matter what actions were taken today against Rice, nor what might be taken in the future, none of them have any remaining credibility, and each must leave or be expelled from their current positions. And despite the obsession of the moment, it does not truly matter whether they had seen this video before today. The league, the team, the prosecutors either whitewashed Ray Rice's brutal assault without ever having seen this video.
That's racist.
Or they saw the video and whitewashed Rice's brutal assault anyway. I accuse prosecutors McClain and Ruberton and Judge Doño, even with the full weight of the law behind them, of failing to seek or failing to obtain or failing to act upon that in-elevator video, of failing to put Ray Rice in jail where he belongs. The state of New Jersey must immediately begin an inquiry into whether or not the failures of McClain and Ruberton and Doño are mere incompetence or if they rose to the level of criminal malfeasance. I accuse President Cass and General Manager Newsome of Baltimore of failing to act internally after the ludicrousness of the Rice two-game suspension should have become apparent even to them. They have had 6 weeks to add a team suspension to Rice's token league punishment, to try to make the scales of justice slightly less out of all balance. They did nothing until they terminated Rice's contract today, after all of them failed to get away with it. Mr. Cass and Mr. Newsome put the meaninglessness of their own team's financial and on-field success ahead of the safety and well-being not only of Janae Palmer, but of every woman in this country now threatened by a man who, because of how they covered for Ray Rice, was a little more confident that he can get away with it. I accuse Roger Goodell of conducting a kangaroo court by interviewing Janae Palmer Rice with Ray Rice present, in contradiction of all recommended practices when dealing with victims of domestic abuse, thus virtually guaranteeing that whatever testimony she gave them of the events of February 15th, they had the validity of a video made by a hostage with a gun to her head. Putting Janae Palmer Rice in a position to plead for her husband's career, perhaps at the risk of being beaten again if she failed, that Roger Goodell did. Seek and act upon the videotape that should have sent Rice to jail without bail, that he did not do. Commissioner Goodell, as I first said on this program on August 1st, must resign. If he will not do so, NFL owners must fire him, and fire Senior Vice President Birch and Chief Counsel Pash. Pash, of all people, should have known better than to put the victim on trial and to acquit without all the evidence.
Free Josh Gordon.
I agree with Keith Olbermann in this situation, which is very rare for me. I think everyone involved fucked up royally. This is ridiculous. They should have had the tape. They should have asked for the tape if they didn't. I believe they did, but they should have asked for it if they didn't, and he should have been in jail. He should be in jail.
Well, when you're contemplating 16 games for a guy who smoked weed for a second time, or a guy who, regardless of how it happened, was dragging out an unconscious woman from an elevator,
Right.
You should have been contemplating which one's worse, which one will make us look better if we only downsize what they get, and the other one we upgrade what they get. Ray Rice should have gotten a full year suspension, and Josh Gordon should have been out only 4 games, I believe.
Well, there's a guy up until today who is being suspended for double the amount of Ray Rice for maybe taking a little Molly.
Well, he may have been spiked with Molly, because Wes Welker says, I never put drugs in my body. I don't know how this happened. He said, it may have happened at the racetrack. I don't know, but I didn't do it.
But up until today, Ray Rice beat the shit out of someone and had only 2 games. So luckily this footage surfaced.
Well, I agree with Greg to some point. I definitely agree that the NFL completely screwed this up. I mean, to say it was a cover-up, I think Oberman's taken it a little too far. You don't know that. He doesn't have any proof that they were covering this up. And what motive do they have to cover up for Ray Rice? I can see their judgment being blinded because Ray Rice has been a good model citizen up until this point, and he's never had any character issues. So in the 2-game suspension, although it is light, and I mean, this is something that goes beyond sports. I mean, this is so much more, and it is way too tolerant of a penalty. But when you look back at domestic violence suspensions in the past, they've always been 2 games. So it's nothing out of the ordinary. The difference with this one is there's video footage, and the people have seen it, the fans have seen it, and it stirs up emotions. And just like Olbermann tonight, I think more than anything, that was an emotional rampage. I don't really think he had too many facts to go off of. But to say the NFL covered it up, I think is taken a little too far. But I will agree, they totally, royally screwed up. They should have went more in depth with the investigation. They should have seen that video. If they did see the video and they did cover it up, then Roger Goodell's job needs to be handed over. He doesn't deserve to be the commissioner.
Let's pretend that they're not actively covering up. Okay, I'll give Roger Goodell, that big fucking asshole, the benefit of the doubt here.
Because it probably didn't.
Let's say he did not see the video. Why did you not ask for that video? There's video before, there's video after.
They said they did.
Of course there's video during.
He said he asked for it, and they wouldn't give it to him.
That's bullshit. You get a warrant. The police, at the very least...
Well, the police would have to. But because the wife wasn't pressing charges, I think that the police had to back off at that point.
But that's the whole point with domestic violence. It's not some crackpot theory. It's fact that women who are physically abused are timid. They're afraid to turn against him. They're afraid they're going to get beat again. They're fearing for their lives. Why is she going to turn in Ray Rice or press charges against Ray Rice or say anything contrary to, oh, well, I was out of line, you know? I guarantee you, Ray Rice, before she went up to Roger Goodell and pleaded for leniency, he probably said, "You don't want me to get drunk again, do you? You know, you better go tell him it was your fault."
I agree. There is a social problem with the fact that people cannot step in on behalf of the woman and just press charges without her pressing the charges. I think it's ridiculous.
The knowledge is there. They should know. It's not a theory. It is fact. These women that are battered are afraid. They're not going to turn him in. They're not going to turn against him. You have to take initiative. And this is, again, I completely agree with Greg. The NFL screwed up by not taking more initiative and going after Ray Rice. And they totally butt-fucked this one.
Yeah, no, like I said, because this went hand in hand almost the same time, the judgment for Josh Gordon going down, how do you justify this? You go to a guy who had barely over the legal amount of weed in his body.
It's a perfect storm.
And then Ray Rice, on the other hand, Gordon was out 4 games last year for weed, which is still more than the 2 games that Ray Rice was out. Even though it was a first offense, that's not an easy offense. That's not smoking weed. That is beating a human being.
It's causing physical harm.
That is harming someone else other than yourself. All Gordon did was harm some brain cells for himself. Nobody else was endangered by Josh Gordon smoking weed.
I agree. It's a total perfect storm of circumstances because the NFL averages over 1 arrest for domestic violence a year. They've had like 10 in the last 8 years, domestic violence arrests.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
And yeah, but nobody bats an eye at it. They give them 2 games and everybody's like, oh, whatever. But with this one, you've got the video evidence. Okay, people see it and it looks horrible. He's dragging her limp body out of the elevator. You have the Josh Gordon suspension. While marijuana is being legalized and more people today are over half the country in polls are okay with marijuana. They think it should be legalized.
And the 2 cities that were in the Super Bowl have legalized marijuana.
Yes, you're giving this guy a year when you've got this guy 2 games, and it's such a perfect storm. And for the NFL to not realize what they were dealing with social media, with their just insane fan base, how passionate these fans are, they're going to go crazy over this. You got to know and you got to take action. You can't let it get to this point. They totally screwed up.
Exactly, because I think what they're afraid of is a battle with the NFLPA, but you make the Players Association look bad by slapping him with a 1-year suspension or even a 8-game suspension. Let the NFLPA defend a guy that hit a wife.
Right, then you look like an asshole.
Then you guys don't look bad because you technically have to go back to the way it is, but then the NFLPA looks bad for defending him.
Right.
And I think that is partly the case, and that is why something is seriously wrong with the NFL front office. And I think it's time to change the NFL commissioner, because when sweeping domestic violence under the rug is more acceptable than having to deal with the freaking players union, they're not going to stand up for domestic violence. That's not what they're doing. They're there for players' rights. They're going to make sure Ray Rice gets all his rights, but they're not going to defend him for beating his wife.
Well, yeah, because if he's not playing, the Players Association is not getting paid his dues.
Well, that's true too.
So of course they want him to play. Now let me ask you guys this. So based on the suspensions being handed out this year, how everything's been handled for this year, should Roger Goodell step down and or be forced out of the league?
I say yes, but not only for this. Because if you watched that Dallas 49ers game yesterday, all those bullshit illegal contact calls against the 49ers, that is what's wrong with the NFL right now.
Add that to the NFC Championship game of last year.
That's why the commission is gone. There were so many bad calls, so many refs just throwing their flag because they thought something was happening when it wasn't. I'm tired of it. The Niners should have dominated Dallas even more yesterday than they did. They had like 12 penalties called against them. It's ridiculous.
The refs are now trained to throw their flag when talent is taking over the game.
Yeah, and then, the Ray Rice thing should, be the cherry on top of the illegal content.
All right, now let's let Phil talk.
Goodell still won't let Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
God damn it, Roger!
That asshole!
I think he's bringing Ebola to America, too. Isn't he in charge of that?
You read that story, too?
God, what's wrong with this guy?
It's legitimate if Phil thinks so.
I think he's also best friends with Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
He also hates black people.
He's not a racist.
Not a racist at all. What do you think, Phil? Should he stay or should he go?
I think it's still a little premature to say. If there's any evidence that comes out that the NFL knew about this and didn't act on it, if they saw this video and still went with the 2-game suspension, I don't know how he can not step down. But right now, I think we still need to wait to see what the next step is in this whole Ray Rice thing, what the next course of action is going to be, what other evidence surfaces, because something else is going to pop up. I mean, we thought this thing was done, and here comes this video, and now it's all started back up again. So who knows? I think we need to let it play out a little bit. There's definitely, like Mike said, a lot of reasons for people to not like Roger Goodell. He's changed the game in a lot of ways that fans don't really like.
There's no more kickoffs.
Yeah, it may have affected the bottom line of the NFL in a positive way to some degree. But, you can do almost anything you want, and the league is going to grow. People are not going to stop watching football. So I think you need to appease the fans to some degree, maybe not do everything, but he's changing the game a little more than I think what is necessary. And then, you compile this on top of it, and if there's evidence that comes out that they knew about this, I think he is completely done for. There's going to be so many people calling for his job.
I don't know
if he can step down.
The one thing I will say for Keith Olbermann, I don't really think he believes everything he said there. I think what he's doing there is getting people to open their ears and eyes and say, hey, let's investigate this. Let's actually try to see what happened, because nobody gave a shit when they slapped him with 2 games and then moved on. Now now I think he said this, not believing it, because Keith Olbermann's way smarter than that. I think it was more of him getting people to go, yeah, maybe there is something to this. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, fuck the system. You guys are missing some shit here. Now, I don't want to spend the entire show talking about this, but I will leave you guys at this point. You can tell me if I'm an asshole or not. The one thing that contradicts everything we've said right now that I'm going to say is they were engaged when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
A month later, they were married. She had the opportunity to say we are not getting married, yet she went through with the marriage, and now they are husband and wife. She's a fucking idiot, and when he does, not if, when he does this again, she better not call for help, because she is just as big of a problem as he is now by not leaving his ass at the door.
And where were the friends and family in the public saying, hey, she needs to get away from this guy?
Yes. She cannot ask for help now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would put the blame on her. I mean, definitely there is some fault on her part, but, there's so much psychological damage that goes along with this. And the fact that, he is so much bigger and stronger than her and can just manhandle her. And if she turns against him and turns him in or does anything that ticks him off and makes him want to do this again, she could be dead.
Yeah,
so
he could turn War Machine on her.
She's not thinking logically like you and I and Mike. I mean, she's not thinking the same thought patterns that we are. She has a totally different line of thought, and I can't put it on her at all. I definitely think, like you said, family and friends, somebody needs to step in here.
Yes.
Because she has been beaten by her husband, and I guarantee you it's not the only time. If he's violent like that towards her, then he's going to do it again, or he has done it before, and something has got to give here. But I'm not putting it on her by any means.
I'm not blaming her for that initial, being beat. In fact, I'm blaming her dad. I'm calling that right now. I'm blaming her dad for this, because I'm sure that's why.
Blame Roger Goodell. Well, he didn't raise her right.
That too. But I blame her for every subsequent beating because she is not leaving him.
Yeah,
I don't blame her. I mean, that's not the right verbiage, blaming her. But she has no right to call for help if this happens again, because you had the opportunity to, even if you just said to him, hey, let's put off this marriage until all the heat dies off. Make it sound like it's for him, not even for her. And then somehow she snakes her way out of the whole relationship. You went ahead and you married him. You cannot ask for help when he does this again.
I think it's easier said than done, man. I don't know.
Maybe so. We're obviously not in her head.
Yeah, we don't abuse women, so it's kind of hard for us to say how a woman would act around us if we did.
Right.
But no, go ahead.
We don't know how violent he is behind closed doors either.
Nope.
I mean, she could be a prisoner to him. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, not only that, my first instinct as a man, if my girlfriend's coming at me, is to grab her and bear hug her till she can't move.
Right. Hold her down.
I am big enough, and my girlfriend's strong when she's angry, but I am big enough that I know I could hold on to her and she can't flare around. This woman is small, and Ray Rice is an athlete. You cannot tell me that if she's coming at him trying to punch him, he can't just wrap his arms around her and sustain her right there, and it's done.
Oh, she's over with.
He doesn't have to punch her. He could just grab her, hold her until she calms down, and just defend himself that way.
Right.
Yeah. I prefer the method of curling into the fetal position myself.
Don't hit me, baby.
Is there experience with this? I mean, Mike does it to me all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we will get off this wildly depressing subject. We'll move
Nobody
on.
puts Trigger in a corner.
Nicely done. Move on to a couple of things. Wes Welker, he was out with a concussion, and now he's out 4 games with amphetamines.
That means my number 4 wide receiver will be healthy once he's back from suspension.
I guess so. 4 games. People are saying it's MDMA, Molly, whatever. And
it's an amphetamine.
And they did it at the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, it was a test right after that day.
Yeah.
So
he was hanging out with Tom Brady.
He says he's never taken drugs before, and Wes Welker, I mean, if you look at him, he's very healthy. The fact that he's gone through so many concussions and can still play tells me he takes care of his body. And if he's going to do any drugs, you think he's going to do Molly and not smoke weed? Like that? That's the weird part to me. I mean, anything's possible. I don't know him. I wasn't with him, but I mean, the fact that he's saying I might have been drugged, I don't know, but I know I didn't take it. I kind of believe Wes Welker.
Phil, do we believe him?
I don't know. It's a real gray area, and I mean, it's just he said versus she said, or he said versus he said, or whatever. But I definitely think the drug policy needs looked at and examined and revised. And
well, you are a libertarian, so
yeah, that's true.
When it comes to drugs, I am too.
But I'm also in favor of it. It's a business and it's a workplace, and they have the right to hold their employees to a higher standard if they wish.
I agree.
And if you don't want to work for that company, then go play in the Canadian Football League or go get a job selling frozen meat door to door. I don't care, but
or cars,
yeah, like Josh Gordon.
Yeah,
he's a smart man.
He's
making some money. His contract wasn't big as it was because he was an undrafted player. Correct? He was a supplement draft player, I believe.
Yeah, he was taken in the second round of the supplemental draft.
Yeah, that means you're not making very much money, but he's one of the best receivers in the league. He needs some money while he's suspended.
He might not even come back to football. He's going to be making so much money selling cars.
Oh, we got this used Pontiac G6 down here, 2003. Come on down to buy my Pontiac.
And then, worst comes to worst, we'll smoke some weed out back together.
That's right. All right.
Yeah, there's a fine line though, and it's hard to know, who do you believe and who don't you believe. Like, Robert Mathis's story, how he was trying to take a fertility drug so him and his wife could have a kid before his mom died of cancer or something. I mean,
Chael Sonnen.
That's a pretty elaborate story to make up. I don't know, but it's like you said, there's no facts, there's no proof. It's just, well, I didn't know I took that. Somebody spiked my drink. Well,
and all he knows is he shouldn't have taken it.
Maybe
right.
I think the drug policy definitely needs to be more lenient. I think maybe first offense is a game, second offense is 3 games or something. And if you do have a third offense, then okay, nobody.
They get you help. How about we make it a thing where people get help if they have a drug problem?
Treatment over punishment.
Yes.
You're making $9 billion a year as a league, and I think you can afford a freaking rehab facility for a guy that's got a serious problem with marijuana. He's had like 4 incidents in the last 2 years.
Hell, the WWE, which had a huge drug problem for a long time, I'm sure still does, but they have a system in place where even wrestlers that only had 1 match in the WWE, if they have a drug problem, they get them treatment. They've taken that step, and I think the NFL, being as big as they are, should be in on that as well.
If Vince can do it, Roger can do it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The NFL has taken a lot of heat in recent years for not caring about their employees. With all this head trauma lawsuits and everything, now there's like medical malpractice with team doctors saying that they made him play with broken legs and stuff.
I believe it.
And drugs. And it may be true, but Roger Goodell or whoever in the NFL league offices is in charge of this, and this is maybe another reason why there needs to be a change. If they are not smart enough to realize the backlash that they are facing with every decision with player safety, why aren't they sending these guys to rehab or something? I mean, they got to be doing something to make an effort to just at least show, whether it works or not, to at least show that you care about your employees.
Just pretend that you care at the very least.
At least make people think that you care.
Right, for PR reasons.
What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to look better as a commissioner. Do the right thing, and people will want to pay you for a long time.
Yeah, and they can probably write it off on their taxes anyway.
Exactly.
And
they're a nonprofit, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And what happens at Josh Gordon or these other guys who are addicted to whatever drug they're taking, they stop doing drugs? Oh, man, that'd be awful. It's ridiculous. Set up a rehab system.
We got to remember, Josh Gordon is 23. He's gonna smoke some weed. He wants to party a little, and he hasn't gotten in any other trouble other than smoking weed.
Yeah, it wasn't DUI. It wasn't smoking and driving. He was just smoking.
He just had some in his system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why else. Also, why can't you have different levels of punishment for different substances? Like, obviously, drinking and driving is a much more serious incident where you're putting yours and other people's lives in danger, as opposed to smoking weed at your house with a couple buddies and then failing.
Yes. Yeah, ask Dante Stallworth, who was able to come back to the NFL the next year.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
After killing a fucking person.
The policy needs evaluated, and if Roger Goodell is not smart enough to see that, and Greg, you kind of threw some blame at the victim earlier. How about the NFLPA? Where are they at? They need to be stepping up too. It's not all Goodell. It's not all the league office. Everybody involved here needs to evaluate the policies. Listen to your fans. Hop on Twitter once in a while and look at what people are saying. Everybody hates this.
Well, I think
they're stupid for suspending Josh Gordon for a year and Ray Rice for 2 games, even though now it's indefinitely, but initially 2 games.
Well, I think the PA is at fault for a lot of this here because their main objective is not to necessarily make the punishment fit the crime. Their objective is to get all of their players off of punishment, whether it be weed
they're paid by
or beating the shit out of their wives. Their whole goal is, well, let's get them out of trouble. So
they're fearmongers too.
Yeah, so instead of saying, "Hey, Roger Goodell, let's reevaluate things. Let's do half a season for the third weed violation, but indefinite suspension for beating your wife," they're just like, "Let's get our players off. Let's get our players off. Let's get our players off. They should not be suspended. They need to pay us." And that's a problem with the NFLPA, and honestly, a lot of unions in a lot of different business industries.
That's true.
It's a problem.
Got too big for their britches.
They really did.
The problem is that these guys, well, not the players' reps, but the commissioner and these league officials are selected by the owners. The owners are owning the team. Roger Goodell works for the owners. The owners want to make money. They don't care. The problem with the NFL right now is it's been the most popular league for a really long time. But in the last 20 years, since fantasy football and now all this TV advertising and marketing and all this money and extra revenue has come into the NFL, and it's become a $9-10 billion a year enterprise, is that everything has been centered so much around the bottom line and the dollar. And now the NFLPA is competing with that. And they're saying, well, you're taking money from us. We want our money. We're going to defend our guys, so we get our money. And nobody is making moral or logical decisions anymore. It is just all about who can get paid.
That's all it is. It's all money. And if you have guys like Ray Rice out the entire season, well, the Ravens won't do so well and people won't make so much money.
Yeah, they're probably better off anyway. Ray Rice sucks.
After last season, he was terrible. He was great the season before, but he had one great season and people made a big deal about him.
It's true.
Oh, they were putting him up there with Peterson, saying he was the best back in the league.
Come
so
on.
Stupid. He's no Frank Gore.
Multiple Gorgasms.
The guy who proved people wrong over and over again, right there, Frank Gore.
Let me say this. The NFL and the NFLPA have a tentative agreement on the table to let a third party handle the HGH and the PED arbitration. So instead of Roger Goodell handing down the suspensions and the fines, it'll be a third party arbitrator. Is that good? Is that bad? Is that too lenient? Is that fair? What do we think about this?
If they get someone like Vada involved, they don't care who you are. They're going to write down a suspension they think is fair for anybody, no matter how famous you are, how good of a player you are. They don't give a shit. And if you get them involved, then Goodell doesn't have to make that tough decision. And then the NFLPA now has to fight an actual legitimate drug source. On drug testing source, I should say,
and
on this.
And while I think the what really needs to be reevaluated here is the punishment for drug taking and the type of drugs you're taking, that's what really needs to be reevaluated. With this situation, I don't think it's a big deal because whether it's Roger Goodell or this third party arbitrator, the rule is first time X game, second time this many games. It's that's the rule. Why do you need a third party to give out the same punishment?
It's because Goodell doesn't want to have to be the one giving out the punishments.
He's a pussy.
He knows it's going to wreck the league because HGH, I'm sure, is huge. Look how big these guys are. I mean, baseball players are getting caught with HGH, and they're not even as big as these guys are. Are you kidding me that these guys aren't going to get caught with HGH?
Who knows?
They're huge.
I'm not normally a fan of getting third parties involved or little, extra knuckleheads in there making decisions and affecting things. But in this case, I think it is a good idea to have somebody else handling all the HGH testing and everything like that, because I think when they start doing more in-depth tests And the technology now is so advanced, they can test for anything they want and any like specific amount that they want. And it can get really in-depth and really complicated really quick. And to have a third party there to throw blame at, I think is what they're trying to do here.
Yep.
I think Roger Goodell is just trying to take the pressure off of him.
He definitely is.
Exactly.
He's not a dumb guy.
Yeah. A couple of headlines I'll just run through real quick. Jim Irsay is going to be suspended 6 games and fined $500,000 for violating NFL's
that is
personal
detrimental
conduct policy.
to the Colts. Detrimental.
That's dumb because how does that affect them at all?
At all.
It doesn't.
Oh, God.
Yeah, way to go, Roger Goodell.
6 games. Why does it matter how many games? He's just sitting there watching his team play.
He's not a player or a coach. Right.
What was the dollar amount for his fine? 500,000.
500. Yeah.
Wasn't he carrying that in the money bag that he had in his?
Something like
was
that.
Was he worth like $20 billion?
Yes.
Yeah, he was like, hold on, let me pull out some change from my couch.
Yeah, shouldn't fines be based on how much you make, like as a percentage of how much you make?
Like, Greg, you got caught drinking and driving. I'm going to need 50 cents.
Have you seen my paychecks?
He hit you right on the nose.
Yeah, that's good. And with that, I'm going to go drink and drive a lot more. I mean, that's bad. Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, that's essentially finding me like $7 for drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a slap on the wrist, man.
It is because he had like $28,000 in the back of his car when he got pulled over. I may have $7 in my pocket getting pulled over.
I can't believe he couldn't bribe that cop and get out of that.
With all the money he had in his car, you'd think he'd find a way to get out of that thing.
He just all he had to do was use his eyes to look over at the money bag to the cop. Not even say anything.
I picture the whole situation like he gets pulled over, they open the trunk, and there's like old school money bags, like the sack with the dollar sign on it. Just tons of those.
Style.
Yeah, like tons of those sitting in his trunk. And he's just like, yeah. You'll take
I think the worst punishment they could have gave him was just to ban him from Twitter.
or from talking about Peyton.
That would have hurt him. That would have hurt him deep.
Hey, you're getting an extra point right now from your kicker, Phil. The Chargers just scored a touchdown. It's going to be 10-6 Chargers right now. Unfortunately, we don't want the Chargers to win,
boys.
You're coming up close. LaMichael James asked for and was granted his release by the 49ers.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, that's because he fell fourth fiddle to the rest of the team.
Yeah, Carlos Hyde kind of put him on his ass. So.
Yeah. Jadeveon Clowney, he's out 4 to 6 weeks after having knee surgery. He's blaming it on the field situations, which
it has
I
a
do
history.
believe him. Wes Welker tore an ACL there.
And there's a history, and they take out the grass after every game.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a patch.
It's real grass, but they take it out in squares.
There's always going to be a square seam in there.
Yeah. Should they replace the field?
Oh, man. And I picked up Houston as my defense because Clowney, Watt, Cushing,
Houston
Reed,
fucked me over so hard last year.
Oh, man. They killed for me yesterday. And I was hoping Clowney would be there. I picked them up with my last pick because I'm like, nobody else is going to take this team that obviously has a great defense. So. But Clowney's out now.
Good luck.
Yeah.
The Colts, Robert Mathis, out for the season, tore his ACL in practice.
Practice?
Did anybody draft him?
No. Well, they mean the Colts defense?
Well,
he's a defensive player. No, I didn't pick the Colts defense.
I may be a little drunk.
But they do need him. That's for sure.
I'm surprised I didn't get auto-drafted the Colts defense.
As your third defense.
I'm surprised you didn't get drafted the Chargers defense.
Actually, they're not doing too bad right now. So
that's true, but they're playing the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Did you guys see the video of Antonio Brown kicking Spencer Lanning's head?
So good. I was just trying to jump over him.
Yeah, right.
I hate Pittsburgh, but that was pretty awesome.
He was.
That was hilarious.
Well, Santonio Holmes, even if you hate Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown. Even if you hate Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown is a very likable dude, and the fact that he kicks some Browns punter in the face is awesome.
Yeah, Browns fans out here are like just totally outraged and crying foul and saying, what if a defensive player did that and blah, 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 he'd be suspended. He didn't do it on purpose. He was trying to jump over the guy.
Yeah, he's just short.
Yeah.
He is an
It didn't look intentional to me at all.
Yeah, he's not Vernon Davis. He can't leap over dudes.
That's true. We'll end it with this one because it's my favorite story of the day. More fantasy teams own Tim Tebow than they do Chad Henne.
I love it.
I busted that line out in the bar Saturday night. I was trying to help a guy with his fantasy team, and he was starting Toby Gerhart, and I was trying to convince him how bad the Jacksonville Jaguars sucked.
Oh, God, yes. And then I must mention, since a quarterback thing like that, I have another league in the NFL.com, and he started Johnny Manziel, even though it was already said that Hoyer was going to. And I'm like, this is an easy win, and I obviously easily beat him. I had Calvin Johnson in that league as well. So
nice.
But see, what's funny is through all my mock drafts that I did 4 mock drafts. I had a number 1 pick, a number 3 pick, a 7, and an 8, and I got the 8th pick in this draft. Well, the 7th and 8th, I had a way bigger success picking players just the way they were falling because Calvin Johnson was always there. So I was actually kind of happy that I got the 8th pick in this draft.
That's one thing I noticed this year with fantasy. Normally, I like being right in the middle, anywhere from like 4 to 6. But this was one of those years where I either wanted to be first or last because it seemed like the way players were falling, you could really just load up with them, back-to-back picks.
Because people like Arian Foster, Noshawn Moreno, both who I picked up, you don't know how they're going to do with the back surgery and then a new team for Noshawn in his case. But I picked them both up because I'm like, they gotta bounce back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you say that, but in my other league, I was last, which means I went last and first, and then vice versa. That was fucking awful.
Yeah,
that was horrible.
Because you had to wait so long between picks.
The thing is, you can't be afraid to reach on a guy like picking 10th. There's never anybody like between 8 and 12 usually that has just a on fire season. I usually drop down and look at the guys in the 15 to 20 range, and you can grab a guy like an AJ Green or Des Bryant, and I mean they're going to have solid years. They're going to be top 3 receivers.
Yeah, as long as Romo doesn't throw the other team.
I have Des Bryant. That did nothing for me yesterday.
He cramped up like LeBron.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he'll turn it on. It's 1 week. He's a great receiver, and no matter who's throwing him the ball, he's one of them guys like Josh Gordon that even if Brandon Whedon's throwing him the ball, who is Dallas's backup quarterback, he can have it. He can have a good season. Yeah.
Des Bryant is a touchdown machine. He's like Calvin Johnson. Well, obviously everybody's slightly below Calvin Johnson because he's got Stafford just throwing it to him no matter what. But
that's all he's got.
Des Bryant's going to get a lot of touchdowns this year.
Yeah, he will. He will.
He will indeed. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Phil, thank you once again for joining us and hanging out with us tonight.
It was a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
You can catch him, gruntpunch.com, as well as his new being all super famous website, alongtheboards.com. That's hockey stuff, something we don't talk about very often.
And, of course, always here at thecharitystrike.com.
Most importantly.
Yes, most importantly.
The charity. We were talking earlier, Phil, we feel like Colbert. Colbert would talk about how he gave people the Colbert rub, and we feel like we've given you the Colbert. Well, not the Colbert, but the TCS rub, because now you're famous, you're writing for all these other websites, and, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. I couldn't have done it without you.
I honestly think we had a fantastic conversation about Ray Rice, though.
I attribute all of my success to you guys.
We'll wait for those checks in the mail. As we should.
Yeah, you pay us.
You're right.
That was never agreed upon.
It wouldn't matter either way. But yeah, we did have a great conversation about Ray Rice. That was good football talk today, fellas. Good job, fellas.
Good talk.
Good talk. Thank you again for hanging out with us. And we know it's much later on the well, not quite East Coast, but East Coast time. So we'll let you get out of here.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Later. That's all we got.
Ooh, I thought the Ray Rice convo was really good. I thought we were better than ESPN because we actually didn't have to stick to time parameters.
And being better than ESPN doesn't take much these days.
No, it doesn't.
It's sad but true. Once again, you can get us.
I'm playing you out with Sad but True.
Oh, thank you. I've actually got a different song for us tonight to go out on, but quickly. TheCharityStrike.com, Facebook.com/TheCharityStrike, at TheCharityStrike, no E at the end on Twitter, 805-419-3679. You can call the number. When we're live, you can talk. When we're not live, you can leave voicemails. We'll play on the air unless you don't want us to. And you can also text us and sext us. Who is this really hot picture?
This is Felice Herrig, the MMA chick I said was going to be on The Ultimate Fighter that I
Dear
forgot.
Lord.
I told you there's a hot one that likes to show
my
off.
tongue so far up her ass.
Felice Herrig is the name that we couldn't remember.
What about Fellatio Herrig?
Please.
Dear God, that is... Send that to me so I can post it with the show
right.
on Facebook.com/Church. We're going to leave you guys with a song from the Ned Files. The Ned Files is a friendly podcast that we talk to and hang out with. And they're not near as good as we are because...
Who is?
Not
even Keith Olbermann.
Not even close. But they made a song about us, so I figured we should end the show with their song. So I'll play their song. But first, with that... Good night, everybody.
Once there was a podcast about sports. They called it the Charity Strike. It had people named Rebound and Pew Pew. Pew Pew. They talk about sports and I don't follow. They talk about sports and I don't follow. My brain is so very hollow when it comes to sports. Basketball or foot soccer. Is hacky sack a sport? I don't know. Is hacky sack a sport? I don't know. Take me to that sportscast show with the Charity Strike podcast.